Hi. Of our four kids, our two oldest sons are enrolled in an educational program in the area called Classical Conversations, where they meet once a week. And the program is growing so much. This past year, there have been, I believe, a few new campuses that have opened in the area. And so one of the directors from the new program asked some of our friends, fellow homeschoolers, to share a little bit about what they do at home and just to give some ideas. Not only that, to also show the diversity in families and how they approach their schedule, maybe some of their studies. And I think that's very important because one of the benefits, the luxuries we have teaching at home is we get to really know our children and know what works for our family and just customize what we do to benefit them. I'll tell you this right off the bat. We have organization here in our home. We have a plan. We know what our goals are for the year and a way to organize it. But we are pretty fly by the seat of our pants kind of family. We like flexibility. We like field trips. We like to get out and be out in nature. And so we keep our weekly commitments to a minimum, which allows for the flexibility. And having said that, I will try to show you what we have going on. I have things sprawled out on my table, and I hope you'll be able to make sense of what I'm going to show you here. First of all, let me show you the workbooks. Maybe it's better if I just pick it up. Okay, so I made some workbooks for our kids because what I found online wasn't exactly what I wanted. I wanted something that would show or define the parameters or the goals for each week for our older ones. Their ages are 10 and one just turned 9. And so I wanted to give them what they needed to do and then have them look at the week and plug it in. It's getting them toward taking ownership of, becoming independent learners. And that gives us the flexibility as we have a field trip one day, the next week it'll be different. So I made up these organizers. And more or less what I have actually one page already open here. I just have a month glance here, a place to put important dates, birthdays, holidays, little quotes, poems, jokes, something that's appropriate to the month. And then I give them what they need to do with how many check boxes signifying how many days a week they need to do it, how many math lessons. And then they look at the week and they plug in anything that's unique for that week, field trips, play dates, and they just plug it in for the specific days. That's Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So they plug it in, and that's how it is for the whole year, actually. They're able to look at that and plan it on their own. So Classical Conversations wise, what we do, they have a whiteboard. They've been writing things out. We also use these sheets where they can fill it in. This is from aclassicaltwist.blogspot.com. They can fill in their work here. They do probably 15 minutes or so a day on that. It's pretty minimal, just to make sure that they're remembering. But then they also have their other subjects that they go into in more depth. They have their math that they follow through with every week, 3 or 4 lessons of that. They have a writing class. It's a pretty in-depth writing class that's incredible. And they have, they have a variety of things. They have what they need. But that's how we plan it. That's how they plan it. So far, it's going well. So the scheduling is on them. And I just make sure I kind of walk them through as I see the need for it. Now, our younger two, ages 5 and 3, I have something else for them, and I did this with our boys, and it worked really well. So I thought, why not duplicate it? What I do is I do a letter of the week approach for them, and the purpose of this is, of course, they're learning with their letters and words, and they learn how to read and such. But really, I heard from a friend, and she described one of the reasons why I do it like this so well. She's actually the mother-in-law. Her name's Lorraine. She's the mother-in-law of a good friend of mine. And she said, oh no, I'm sorry, the mother-in-law's name is Joanne. Anyway, she said, things have changed a lot in schooling these days. Kindergarten used to be a way to show kids why they want to learn. It wasn't so rigid and structured as much the way it is these days. So that's what I ran across with our boys. I just wanted to show them, give them a little buffet of what's great, what's inspirational, what's accurate, what's incredible in the world, you can break it all down into words. And so I just would split it up into the letters, and a lot of things are flexible depending on what you find at the library at the moment. And I could do, let's say I ran across something that's a book on cows. I could read it for C week, but if I don't find it until later in the year, I could put it in F week for farm. It's just really flexible that way, and it worked well. And what we do is we go to the library, we get and see what's available there. We go to Walmart, pick up some materials, construction paper, yarn, glue. Our day today with our girls probably cost us maybe 50 cents for all the supplies. You can do a lot with so little. Just a little bit of planning, a little bit of ideas. So what we did today was, it's A week, and of course the girls got a little exposure to the classical conversation songs and some of the studies that their older brothers were working on. But we worked on A, and so what they did was just a little template. They were painting, and they did some mazes. I just printed out an airplane maze, an animal, no, I'm sorry, airplane ... an animal maze. We got a book from the library, ants, how ants work. We took the yarn and we put it on the couch, 2 lines, and then we just laid it across the floor and left sort of big circles around. I don't know, I'll have to show you a picture. And it represented the chambers in an ant colony. So we had one for food. They brought all their plastic food from the kitchen, and they brought down babies for all the babies in the other one. They brought down an ant puppet for the queen in different chambers, and they were able to crawl from the couch down through the yarn maze. It's kind of like a maze into the different chambers, and so they were able to interact with what they're learning. And then we went outside and we sang the ants go marching 1 by 1, and it goes all the way to 10 by 10. So they had a great time with that. They played in the leaves a little bit outside, and we had some ant snacks and food. They got to inspect an artichoke and try that for the first time. They've probably had it before, but it's been a while. And had some great food. What else? Oh yeah, the way I organize their stuff. This will be a collage of pictures that they can relate to, that are special to them. Maybe their first day of school and some other things that they're involved in. Walmart, I think you can get a collage for $2 or so, and it's a fun cover. But for now, it's Alice in Wonderland. So inside, all I do is I just have some, basic pocket, and then I have the letters labeled A through Z, and then they can put their crafts in there. So for example, they can take their ant craft, and this shows the different chambers and the parts of the ant. And then when they're done, they just put it in here. And it is so much more exciting for them to look at their crafts that they did with a little bit of texture. This is the yarn versus just a workbook. Nobody wants to see a Costco workbook 6 months after they've done it. But this stuff they look at for years. Our boys still get a kick out of looking at their stuff that they did 4 or 5 years ago. And I've made up this little calendar. Each week they have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And they're big enough sections for me to not only write down what they did, what we actually read, and what we did, but also they can put in anything fun, such as a field trip. But if it's Grandma's birthday or something special, they can put a picture of Grandma. They could put a little scrap, part of a ticket from a field trip. It kind of dubs as scrapbook, organizer, planner, a way of just charting what you have. And then they have their different sections with the letters. Let's see. Is there anything else? Oh yeah, and then we'll finish the night with Winnie the Pooh, because we're doing Winnie the Pooh book club. So we have a lot of hands-on learning, but that is just really simple, nothing that's elaborate or expensive. And then, oh yeah, and one more thing, there's a lot. Our 5-year-old, we're going through a little bit of some math, and that's a little structured with that. What else? That kind of summarizes it. I have no idea if this is helpful or just confusing, but I hope it gives you an idea of what we do and how doable it is with 4 kids. And another thing, with the younger age, I think one of the important priorities I have, which I have a video on YouTube called teaching how to learn. You're teaching them how to have their habits of just how to hold a pencil and how to be patient with their work, and then you're teaching them about character. So some of the deeper areas you can discuss or demonstrate to them. Let's say compassion and patience and so many beautiful things with character. And I know there was another one. I can't remember the other thing. Anyway, you should see the video. But the other thing is, when they're young, what I'm trying to develop with them are 2 things. I'm trying to develop the voice, them listening to my voice, them knowing that when they speak, I can hear them as well. It's that communication, it's the relationship that's building. And sometimes people think that they can't homeschool their kids because they'll be at the table screaming and all of this, and it really doesn't have to be like that. If you are able to develop this respect and this trust, it's not that every day is going to be perfect and, oh, I just love math every day. No, there will be times where they might want to pull out their hair, but you've developed this way of relating that they know you're on their side, and you help them, encourage them instead of, being a complete taskmaster. And the other thing that was on my mind was their voice, and oh yeah, you can be a student of your student. When in these young ages, it's so fascinating to watch what they do, why they do it, how they respond, what sparks their interest. My firstborn was, he loved organization, he loved a goal, he was just a voracious academic pursuer. And the second one, totally different, artistic, kind of free, little. He was a lot more aware of aesthetics, and I saw him just drawing these most beautiful spirals, and I thought, okay, this guy's got he's got an interest in art. And so I was able to, with each child, know how to approach them, what inspires them, and I became a student of my students. So there you go. There's a whole lot of words. Again, I hope it's helpful. And if you want to see more ideas, you can go to my website, letslearnkids.com. I can share some pictures of what we did today there. Or you can go to Facebook. I have a page called Let's Learn Kids. Okay, talk to you later. Bye.